Hi guys, we'd like to tell you a short story about a man, a guy called Zacchaeus who met Jesus. Now, one thing you might want to know about Zacchaeus, he was fat. He was fat and not very tall. In fact, he was short. Actually, that's two things about Zacchaeus. He was fat and short. And he was rich. Right, yes, 3 things you need to know about Zacchaeus. He was fat, he was short, and he was very rich, and no one liked him very much. 4 things, okay? 4 things you need to know about Zacchaeus. He was fat, he was short, and he was very rich. No one liked him very much, and he was from Jericho. Oh, sorry. Anyway, let's get on with the story.
But perhaps more important than him being short and a bit fat was why he was rich and why people did not like him. You see, those things go together. He was rich because he was a tax collector for the Romans, and no one really liked the Romans either. The Romans were bullies and made people do things they did not want to do, like give them money. That's what Zacchaeus did. He collected taxes for the Romans. Some he gave to the Romans, but a lot he kept for himself. That's how he made his sponduli.
One day, Jesus was walking through Jericho on the Jerusalem road with a crowd following him, and Zacchaeus desperately wanted to see him. Perhaps it was because of the news spreading around the country about who Jesus was and all the wonderful things he was doing, like healing the sick, making the blind see again, raising the dead, and helping people turning from their bad ways. The problem was, the crowd had grown in the centre of town and was jostling around Jesus, and because of Zacchaeus' shortness, he couldn't see him. He knew that he would never be able to see over the crowd, so he ran to the edge of the crowd, jumping up and down, going from side to side to the other, but he still couldn't see him.
Now, although Zacchaeus was short, he was not stupid. He looked round and saw a sycamore tree right near the road where Jesus was on. He went straight up to that tree and started climbing it. He did not care if he looked a bit of a numpty climbing a tree. As long as he could see Jesus, he was happy.
Zacchaeus, you got the best seat in the house. Come down here. You've got guests for dinner tonight.
Me? How does he know my name?
Yes, you. Come on, hurry down.
Now, quicker than you can say locusts, honey, and wild berries, Zacchaeus, who could not believe what just happened, scrambled down the tree and went to meet Jesus and take him home with him. And the crowd had a real problem with that. The crowd had been with Jesus all day in the heat of the day, and Jesus had not asked anybody else if he could stay with them. And to stay with this man who took all their money, what was all that about?
This man is a sinner!
What business does this good man have with this dodgy dealer?
He isn't good enough to have Jesus round for tea.
Zacchaeus is a complete wally!
He's a liar, he steals, and all he thinks about is himself. Why would Jesus want to make time for him?
But Zac is now a changed man. He's a little shaken by the crowd's harsh comments, but composes himself and makes this announcement.
Master, I will give away half my income to the poor, and if I'm caught cheating, I will pay 4 times the damages.
Salvation comes to this house today. You lot can think what you want about this man, but he is still the son of our father Abraham. His life was going nowhere, but the Son of Mankind can seek to save the lost.
Zacchaeus, chuffed at Jesus' words, felt much taller than he was at that moment. In fact, he felt as tall as professional
football player and could shoot some hoops all day long, knowing that Jesus loved him and had a plan for his life. Zacchaeus knew at that moment the future was going to be bright.